there. So anyway, I had a fire alarm detection thing today. They said midday to 5 p.m. The guy's come and gone now. It's like 1 p.m. now, so it's done nice and early. I woke up at 12:30. I thought, oh, have they come early? But no, it's bad timing though, because I went to the toilet. Too much information, but no, number two. While that was happening, knock on the door. Of course, the timing of that, I've had that before with the delivery man who came while I was, I'm just like, why is it always when I'm there, when I'm doing that there's a knock on my door? Anyway, he came in, he had to inspect the front door, the balcony, which was a bit embarrassing because you go in my living room, it's a big mess in there. You got to walk around like a maze to get to the balcony door, and my setup's there and everything, all the wires. To be fair though, the guy watches Twitch, so he asked for my Twitch account, so that's cool. So he might follow me, so that's interesting. And he also had to inspect the kitchen, and he noticed there's no smoke detector in the kitchen, which is true. Why don't we have a detector in the kitchen? We have one detector in the whole flat and it's not in the kitchen. Anyway, yeah, so that's all done, that's all sorted out. The reason I look like this is because I'm contemplating whether to cut my hair. I was going to cut my hair before going to Norway, but my mom said it's cold there, you know, keep your face warm. I'm just like, okay, and your head warm, obviously. And since then I'm just like, I'm on holiday at the start of March, like the start of March. If I cut my hair now, I'll not be happy with how long it is in March. So that would mean I would cut it again next month. I don't normally cut hair that often. And I'm thinking to myself, prices are going up, you know, I'm just saying. It's still fairly good compared to women especially. Women spend so much money. I still pay like 23 quid or something, but you know, it used to be like 15, you know, it is gradually going up. I'm just thinking to myself, it's gonna be like 50 quid to cut my hair twice in 2 months. I don't know. I'm trying to budget on certain things. Like I live on a budget at home, so I can spend abroad, basically. It's not an ideal way of living, but you know, I manage. So I'm just like, do I look homeless and even more homeless for the next month or so? Or do I cut my hair twice? My plan right now is option C. Just have a little shave at some point. Probably not today. I might do it today, but it won't be in the vlog. Because I have shaving kits and stuff. It's just that I'm lazy. So when I get a haircut, I just say, can you trim all this number one, mate? They just do it. So I'm just like, okay. But yeah, like I'm just gonna like, so I don't look homeless at work, because I wear a hat at work anyway. So they're not gonna see, I mean, this ain't bad anyway. Like the hair's not bad. It's just that this is a bit too scruffy. So just trim all this a bit and then it will grow back anyway. And then next month, before I go, haircut. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, today is movie night. If I can get going quick enough, I'm talking to you guys. I want to watch Jason Statham's The Beekeeper, a movie called The Boys in a Boat. No, The Boys in the Boat, something like that. I've heard it's good. One Life, wanted to see that before going to Norway, but I didn't have time because I had to record a lot of videos on that day, last day I was off. And Priscilla, I can't watch all 4 today, but I might be able to watch 3. So I can't speak, sorry, because I've not been feeling that well. I mean, the thing is, I do feel well. I just have a really bad cough that I've had for the last few days. On Saturday, I had this massive headache, and I was working a 12-hour shift that day. I had this massive headache, and I was feeling dizzy or something. It hurt to walk for some reason for the last few hours of my shift. I'm just like, what's going on? Like, I felt like my body was shutting down. I felt like I aged 20 years. I just needed to relax. Whenever I sat down, I felt like I was falling asleep or something. I'm just like, because my job is half practical and half computer as well now. It used to be all practical. So it's just like, what's going on today? And I went to bed, and then on Sunday I felt better, but I still had the cough. The cough just got worse. So I'm just like, what's happening? I did another 12-hour shift. I don't know what's going on. I said no to 12 hours on Monday and Tuesday as well, because I'm just like, let me have a little bit of a rest. To be honest, like I already said that because I wanted to record videos at home. And I can't just record a video and then have less sleep and do another 12 hours. that's not gonna work. So I had to like be like, yeah, I can't do it because I don't have time. But really, it's because I do something else, mate. But yeah, it's now Wednesday. I still have a cough, but I feel good. I feel good. I've been feeling good the last few days. The last 2 days at work have been really fun, but I got a really bad cough and I can barely talk properly. I'm not gonna video me coughing really badly because that's just not good content, and why would I do that? So yeah, let me fill you in on what movies are about. Priscilla's an Elvis movie from the perspective of Priscilla. So it's not an Elvis movie, but you know, you see him in more of a, you know, a realistic light. It's quite a dark movie based on the trailers. One Life is about the guy who saved all those kids from Hitler, World War II. Very amazing story. So I'm glad I made a movie about it. And what's his name? Anthony Hopkins. That's a good casting choice as well. He plays the older version of the character, so that's a beautiful story. The Beekeeper is a Jason Statham action movie. I don't think there's anything more complex than that. I mean, that is Jason Statham, that's what he does, and he's one of the best to do it. Yeah, so it's a revenge story, and he goes after an organization, gets caught up in this crazy big thing. So yeah, it sounds like John Wick, but Jason Statham. And then Boys in the Boat is about the 1930s US Olympic team who were rowing team. Sorry, I didn't mention rowing. I said Olympic team, that's like so many sports. US rowing team from the 1930s, through the Depression era up to the point of the 1936 Berlin Olympics. So I just thought that's interesting. I like watching movies about that time because it was a very dark time in the world, the 1930s and 40s. So I like learning history about that, and I have no idea about this rowing team from that back then. So I think that's quite interesting to learn about, and to also know a bit about the 1936 Berlin Olympics, what that would have been like, because that wasn't far off World War II, and the bad things in Germany were happening already at that time. So I'm very curious about that. So yeah, I definitely want to watch Boys in the Boat and Beekeeper today. But Priscilla and One Life came out first, and they might pull them out of cinemas first. But hopefully they keep them in, because I want to see the other two first. So I might see One Life and the two newer ones. I don't know. But if I stop talking, I might be able to watch. I can watch three of them, because at this rate I watched only 2 of them. Let's go. I'm here in my bright red Stonehenge cap. I took an Uber. Yeah, I missed the train, and I thought the movie's in half an hour. And the bus is not going to get there in half an hour. So I thought to myself, yeah, Uber, about £9 for a 10-minute drive. It's not bad for Uber, but yeah, I wanted to watch the movies. I'm keen, I want to see the Beekeeper early. All right, Beekeeper 220, Jason Statham. Apparently it's really good. I'm excited. I love Jason Statham. I love his movies. I love his action. I love his fighting style. So this should be a fun time. And all of these movies, all of them are below 2 hours. Obviously with adverts, they'll be over 2 hours, all of them. But all of them are below 2 hours. So I could have watched 4 in a day without the inspection. But it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. Anyway, I look forward to this. I'll let you know what I think of the first one after. I'm out of breath just talking, man. It's just like, I feel well. It's just that I cough and I'm out of breath when I talk. It's just, I lose my voice, and it's just like, what's going on? Because I'm feeling okay. I don't feel sick, but I got symptoms of being sick. Anyway, 3 movies. Let's start with Statham. Keeper and IMAX. And just after the first movie ends, 15 minutes later, it's One Life. And then I got an hour break until Boys in the Boat. Sounds like a good schedule. Maybe I should get nachos as well. I am hungry. Watch, oh, it's gone. I mean, I want to watch that, but there was Argyle here. Argyle looks good. Right, it's not ready. The movie's in 3 minutes, guys. Come on. The army adverts.
Places you won't find on a map.
Love IMAX. Great seats, and it feels great. Look at that. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. It's a massive speaker.
I've come a long way.
There's like there's a few there's a couple of those massive speakers.
I was born in
can you
Teesside.
see the other one? I don't think you can. Yeah, you can. It's pretty big. It feels weird to come out, and quite light outside. It's 4:18. It's not that late, but it does start getting dark around now. It's only January. It's still winter. But yeah, anyway, that was really good. Like that was really. Honestly, can I see that 3 times? Like it was. I can't talk 30 seconds without coughing. It's actually really frustrating me. Let's see how long I can go this time. Yeah, it was that good. Basically, he has a friend, a good friend, who's his neighbor, and she gets into some trouble, right? Into some really bad trouble, and he basically goes seeking revenge for her because she was a good person to him, a good friend to him, and some people took advantage of her. So, like, he wanted to go and take revenge. And boy, did he take revenge. The way he kills people in this movie, oh my days. It's like a mixture of Denzel Washington's Equalizer and John Wick. Like, I find it more similar to Denzel Washington because he plays a character who's like a former something, but he's more like he's a ghost basically. And he used to be part of something, but he's a ghost, and he protects innocent people, brings justice where the law can't, if that makes sense. So I would compare him a lot more to Denzel Washington's Equalizer character than John Wick. But fighting style was a bit more like John Wick. Jason Statham goes crazy in this. This is one of his best movies in my opinion. I think it's that good. The action's incredible. It's really well filmed, very well choreographed. There's fight scenes throughout. There's a good story as well. I was surprised because basically he goes to take revenge on someone. It turns out that this someone is part of this bigger thing, this bigger conspiracy. So he ends up going after not just one person, but a lot of people. So like, there's a big conspiracy, and there's actually like quite a good storyline in it as well. So that's quite cool. There's an advert right there. Yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna buy it whenever it comes out on Blu-ray, on 4K, 100%. It was incredible, and honestly, it's one of his best. It might be in its top 3 already, just thinking about it. Jason Statham was that good in this, action-wise, character-wise, oh my days. And it had the ending was perfect for me as well. They got everything right, and even the other characters, every other character they did was good, you know. The actors did well, played the job well, but the way he kills people, the way he takes people down is brutal. I should have brought Grandad to this. I don't know why I didn't. I should have brought Grandad to see this. It was brutality from Jason. It was brutality. It was insane. And yeah, it's just like awesome action. The same sort of reactions I get that I have when I watch John Wick or Equalizer. Same thing here. This is another one of those things. Also, Nobody as well from Bob Odenkirk. There's movies like that where the action is just insane, and it's just insanely good. And it's just a really fun time to watch. It's serious, but also just a straight up fun action movie. I might come back and see this again in the cinema in a few days. I'm off this weekend. I might work on Saturday, depends if they ask me for overtime. If they ask me, I want the money, so yeah, I will. But if they don't, I got a full weekend off. At least I'll have Sunday off. I might come back here and see that again. It was that good. And I might ask Grandad. It was that good. Like, genuinely, it was that good. So, yeah, ended a little bit earlier than I must have mistimed it. It's like 10 minutes earlier than I thought it would. It must have started. No, it did start early actually. I just remembered that. I went in. They played no trailers. They played normal adverts, no trailers. Started the movie. It might be because I was the only one there. I've never seen that in IMAX. I've seen it in other screens. I've done that before. In IMAX, I've never been on my own. I was the only paying customer in IMAX. That's funny. It's really funny, but it's really good, guys. It's really good. I recommend it, and I hope people go and see it because it's incredible. So yeah, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I would be surprised if it's not in my top 10 movies of the year at the end of 2024. I still need to make a top 10 for 2023 actually, but yeah, for 2024, this has to be locked in top 10 already. I'm sorry, but there's not going to be 9 movies that I enjoy more than this. Oh, well, 10 movies. So yeah, it's going to be at least 10, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, on to One Life next. A lot more serious. This was serious as well, but fun serious. One Life is obviously about the World War II story. a very good story, I think, you know, when you think about it. Obviously, I mean, I don't need to tell you, but you know, he saved children from certain death, you know. They were under threat from the Germans. This man devised a plan. He got all these children on the train to England to safety. I think it's a very beautiful story, so I'm looking forward to watching a movie about him and the story. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, because like Anthony Hopkins is playing like an older version, is reminiscing about it, and we will see past scenes as well, so I assume it's one of those things where you get modern day and past day, and I think there's a scene where he meets them. So yeah, that's it's going to be good, I think. So let me go watch that. I'll let you know what I think, but I'm confident it'll be good. Very confident. Let's go. I want to see this. Argyle. No, that's a cast. Cranston, obviously Henry Cavill's main character. Samuel Jackson, John Cena. Wow.
Something with it. Is it scary? Careers?
That was a really emotional story, really touching story. There's kind of two storylines. There's him when he's older, many years later, and there's him obviously back then helping the kids. He had a lot of people helping him help the kids as well. It was an amazing but also a tragic story, because there's a lot of kids he couldn't save, and they outlined that as well. Some of the kids he couldn't save. He got as many kids out as possible. 669 on, I think, 8 trains. The 9th train didn't make it, and they show why in the movie. It's very distressing. But yeah, that's the tragedy of World War II, right? It takes place right at the start. Like, it takes place before the start of World War II, but like the Germans already, you know, they're already making movements. It's 1938, and it ends literally when the war starts, when they invade Poland. So yeah, this particular story is out of Czechoslovakia, out of Prague. It's an emotional story, and there's a second storyline where he meets the people that he saved, because he didn't really keep contact. He just, you know, lived his life, and he kept things to himself, I guess. His wife knew and everyone knew, but like, and the later scenes take place in the late 80s, and the public to that day didn't know about his story, about Nicholas Winton's story. He lived to 106, by the way, which is quite remarkable. I mean, he deserved that life. That's a reward for what he did. It did traumatize him, to consider everyone, but him meeting the children that he saved, and also their children, their grandchildren, there's some emotional scenes there, because there's approximately, including, because they were children, about 6,000 people alive today because of him, which is amazing, you know. Sometimes saving one life is enough. He saved many. He saved 600, and you know, 6,000 people still exist because of him. So I think that's an amazing story, and it was a really well done movie, really well told story, and Anthony Hopkins was great. He had a great performance. So yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, this movie. I can't praise it enough. So once again, 9.5 out of 10. We're watching straight bangers today. Next up is Boys in the Boat. I think a detail I forgot to mention about this one was also before World War II. Washington State University. They're the rowing team of the Washington State University during the Great Depression era, and they do take part in the rowing in the 1936 Berlin Olympics. So it sounds good to me. I haven't even seen the trailer. I trust it enough from the synopsis that it will be good. So yeah, and then I'll see Priscilla probably on Sunday, and I might bring Grandad to Cineworld to see The Beekeeper as well. But yeah, this was a very good movie for Anthony Hopkins, and yeah, I can't praise it enough once again. I recommend it. It's been in cinemas for a bit now, hopefully still in cinemas for you guys to see. Go and see it. It's really good. So yeah, I got some time. I'll find some food somewhere, and then we'll watch Boys in the Boat. My days, what are the chances? So I was gonna skip to the movie, but I went to Subway. I thought I was going to McDonald's first, and I thought to myself, Subway, I prefer Subway. So let's go to Subway. I'm getting my food. I'm just about to pay, and 2 of my work colleagues on their break just come in. I work like 10 minutes from here. 2 of my work colleagues, they just come into the Subway. I'm just like,
what on earth? This isn't even break time. There's a late break for you lot. But yeah, I just hear a voice like, David! I look, I'm just like, what are the chances of that? Like, I just, it's something else. It's something else. It just, life just happens sometimes. It is a small world. To be fair, I live close to my cinema. I live close to where I work. So it's probably bound to happen. But still, just standing there ordering on my day off. Like, the second one walks in, he's just like, are you working today? I'm just like, no, I'm off. Don't want to say their names because obviously I keep my work life separate. But as some of my colleagues do know what I do now, but not them. They're also a couple as well. So it's one of those work couples. So she walks in first and he walks in. And I'm just standing there like, oh, hey guys, I'm just here to pay for my food. How you doing? And then I was like, see you tomorrow, and I'll be at work tomorrow. So yeah, that's fun. Anyway, Subway do a Oreo muffin. So nice. I don't know how to do it, to be honest, but I discovered it last week and it's amazing. I want to see that. It's almost 10:30, they're closing it now. I think like when it finished, there was like 4 staff members there at the end of the movie. So I think they were just waiting to clean and get out of there. But yeah, there were like 6 people in that last movie. In One Life there was like 10 and the Beekeeper just 1. But yeah, the movie I just watched, The Boys on the Boat, was very good. I've watched 3 great movies today. That was a 9 out of 10. It's funny, at the end was the Olympic race and it was in Berlin, and you know who was there? A certain leader of Germany was there. I felt like the actor looked really funny, like he was playing this person, but it looked like a parody of him. It looked like it was a parody of this German leader. I just found it really, I mean, I can just say, I said his name earlier as well, Hitler. Don't know why I'm hiding it. Anyway, the guy who was playing Hitler, it looked like he was trying not to laugh. His face just looked really odd. But he was only in it for like the very last scene, because they were traveling to Germany, and Germany was in this period, of course, just before the war. But this wasn't about that. This is about the rowing team, and the main character was on the rowing team. He went from a really poor boy to a rowing gold medalist. It's an amazing story, not just for him, but for the whole team. There's a team of 8, plus a guy instructing him, so 9. A team of 9 on a boat. A very interesting, because I'm not into rowing, but I never thought I'd find rowing fun. But every racing scene was really good. It was incredible, like. And they were underfunded, there were politics in it. There were certain universities that had more funding, more money, more influence. They were not even the best team. They were not even the most funded team in their own university. Like, it was a struggle from underdogs to getting through all these competitions. They had to beat the other schools to get to the Olympics. And even then, they needed money to pay that it didn't have, that other universities had. So they had to try and fund it. And then that was just to get to the Olympics. And then they got to the Olympics. And yeah, it's just the way they did the races. I love the tactics they used. It was amazing. Well, I'll say more when I get home because it's chilly now and the lift is here. And I just love the way it was filmed. It was incredibly done. Even like most of it's not rowing. You see the rowing. When the rowing happens, yeah, you get full-on rowing scenes. You get practice scenes, you get racing scenes, but also a lot of drama outside of it. It focuses on one main character, his love interest, his life at school, with his complicated relationship with his father, amongst other things. Also shows other characters' lives, and everyone's well written. Obviously, it's based on a true story, but still, like, every actor does a good job. The writing, directing is all good, and it comes together to one very good movie. And my favorite parts were definitely the rowing, the racing mainly, not more than the practice. There were some really dramatic races in this, and the fact it really happened is pretty crazy. And their way of winning was very interesting because it was always risky at the start. Yeah, it was an interesting tactic, but it worked. It made for very tense racing, and the races were always good towards the end because of the way they raced, the way they rowed. It's interesting how you got to row like in sync, and different rowers have different roles. It's not all like the same thing. There's like there's steering, there's power, there's actually different little roles for each rower. I'm just like, what? I thought they all do the same thing. Apparently not. Not everyone on that boat controls the speed. Not everyone on that boat controls the power or the direction. There's a lot of teamwork that goes, and these 8 rowers have to be one somehow, have to be in one mind. And the way they portrayed it in this film is fantastic, and it was really good. And there's 2 particular races that I really enjoyed: the race to get to the Olympics, and the race in the Olympics. There's 3 races in the Olympics. No, there's 2 races. There's 2 races. There's 3, but there's one they're not in. There's one they sit out. But in terms of the races, they're actually, because obviously in the Olympics it's a tournament, so obviously you're not in every single race. But you get what I mean. Just the Olympic final, and also the race to qualify for the Olympics, which is basically like a race between a lot of schools, and the best school wins. But there's a bit more politics behind it, because there's a lot that happens in between that race and the Olympics. But yeah, those 2 races stood out. Those were incredible, really well filmed scenes, and really tense. I was just like, I wanted to cheer at some points. I'm just like, this is really awesome. A really cool American story. So yeah, they beat them in the rowing over in Germany, and then a few years later beat them in something else. But yeah, that was good. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. So yeah, I've watched 3 incredible movies today. So yeah, I had a good time. It's a good start to the year. Although I think two, well, Priscilla's one of them, but out of the 4 movies I mentioned, I think 2 are 2023 releases, but they were released in 2024 in the UK. That's One Life and Priscilla. So I don't know whether to include those 2 into my top 10. If they're in my top 10, 2023 list when I make it. They'll be in a different channel though, by the way, in case you didn't clock. I got a movie channel called Davidoff Films. I just put these vlogs here because it's just more suitable here, and I put reviews over there. But yeah, I really had a good time today. 3 incredible movies that I certainly enjoyed quite a lot. The second one was very emotional, of course, but yeah, a very good movie. And yeah, the first movie, amazing action movie. One of the best action movies I've seen recently. And this rowing movie was incredibly fun as well. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. It's a good start to the year for movies. Let's hope it continues. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.